Hello, Rick.
Hello, Brooke.
Thanks for joining us again.
Sure, it's my
I have
pleasure.
another question for you from Facebook again.
Oh, good. All right, I'm really glad.
Okay.
I really appreciate the fact that these are coming in like they are.
Yeah.
You know, it's really good news.
Yeah,
So,
definitely encourage the interaction.
yes.
So Beth is a life coach in San Diego.
Beth?
Beth. And she's been using the Gremlin-Taming method successfully for years with her clients.
Uh-huh.
But she now has a client that has proven to be resistant to all things gremlin and gremlin-taming.
Gremlinology
Yes.
or whatever, yeah.
This
yeah.
particular client has no interest in pursuing her improvement through the gremlin, either the terminology or whatever it is.
Yeah, that's Beth.
Yeah.
That's just dandy. Don't worry about it. Gremlin taming is not about the gremlin. Get that. It's not about the gremlin in the same way that that a beautiful sculpture, a nice statue, is not about the stone that ends up on the floor. Gremlin taming is about helping someone reveal who they are on the inside, their heart of hearts, what sometimes I call the natural you, the natural them. And the process for doing that is such a beautiful process, and it works every time. Pardon the double negative, but it can't not work. It's not necessary to even use the gremlin metaphor if you don't want to. It's not. I mean, if somebody's not into that, that's cool. What is important is you teach them a process. And the process begins with, this is going to be a very brief answer because we don't have much time here, but the process begins with helping your client, Beth, to simply notice how he or she, not why, but how he or she is getting in his or her own way in the very moment that that person is getting in their own way. Now, they're going to be doing it in one of probably 5 ways. They're either going to be scaring the dickens out of themselves, that is creating a horror movie, and you're going to help them begin to notice that, maybe even help them accentuate it. Or they're going to be putting themselves down, or they're going to be miring themselves in resentment. You notice I'm saying miring themselves because we're going to leave out the gremlin metaphor for a moment. They may be trapping themselves in regret. Or one of the most insidious tactics that really the gremlin is using, but that they may be using, is they may be trapping themselves in a preconceived notion, a concept, a belief of who they are. Any belief, any concept, even a positive self-concept is limiting because we're not a concept. But it's very difficult to notice one's own concepts playing through one's head because we're in them. That's where simply noticing comes in, and it's why practice is important. Over time, one can begin to notice not only what's going on around them and what's going on in their own body, which those things are hugely important, but they can begin to notice concepts flying through their head in the very moment that they're flying through their head. That kicks into play what I call the Zen theory of change, which simply stated is something like this. I free myself from those old barriers, not by trying to free myself. I free myself by simply noticing how, not why, how I am imprisoning myself, and this is the key, in the very moment in which I am imprisoning myself. It's the difference between awareness and insight. On a scale of 0 to 10, insight, understanding why you are like you are, is worth about a 2. Awareness is worth a 10. That is really noticing in the moment how you're getting in your own way, in the moment that you're getting in your own way. Let me just add one thing. The natural you on the inside is far more powerful than those concepts. And as you begin to bring into the awareness of the natural you, how you're getting in your own way in the moment that you are, if that old way no longer fits for you, it'll begin to evaporate, and that's a done deal. That's the way the universe works. So, thank you for asking. I guess the bottom line is, don't sweat the gremlin thing. If they don't want to talk about gremlins, don't talk about gremlins. But remember the process, and that it begins with simply noticing. The other keys are outlined in the books, Taming Your Gremlin and a masterclass in Gremlin-Taming, which, by the way, is written very much for coaches and therapists. So, thank you, Beth. I really appreciate you checking in. And thank you, Brooke.
Thanks, Rick. See you next time.
Yes, ma'am.